Hello once again, and thank you very much for joining me. This is something special, a little bit of a departure from the norm. You might notice that we've got a gentleman on screen with us. This fine gentleman is Mort. He's a good friend of my channel, and he's over on Twitch as well. And everyone's channels is going to be in the description down below. I'm joined tonight by Mort and Tilomad92. Now, this new series is called Moon and Mort, GET2. See what we did there? And it is going to be... So the premise of the show is a little bit interview format. This community has a rich amount of personalities that you may or may not know, and unfortunately, due to the way that some YouTube algorithms work or things like that, I'm in the lucky position where I can kind of watch a lot of Star Wars Galaxy Heroes content. So it is a case of I found some really interesting individuals on the way. And this guy on the radar has been on mine and Mort's radar for a little bit of time as well. This is Tilomad92. So hello to Fort, hello to Tilo. Thank you both for joining me. And how are you both on this fine evening?
I am good, thank you, sir. I just want to point out that the Moon put this together. He is basically the author what went together here. That's why his name is in front right here. I didn't even get a choice. He just said, this is Moon and Mort, and I got the GET2. So, Tilo, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing good too. I'm just over here chilling.
That's exactly what we were. You won't be by the end of this. You'll be sweating by the end of this interview, I tell you. Me and Mort are asking the hard questions. We're going to play the good cop, the bad cop to get the information that we need out of everyone. But basically, this is going to be a nice introduction to someone that hopefully you've seen before, but if you haven't, we're going to encourage you to go and check out their channel. We're going to assume that we know nothing about this guest to make it a little bit easier for everyone and the questions. Each and every guest, we're going to try and do one a fortnight, one a month maybe, depending on schedules and depending on how our guests are tied up as well. And every guest, so as I said, we're going to start off with their Star Wars Galaxy Heroes journey, and then we're going to go a little bit more into their personal side and their journey. And every guest is going to have a safe word. So obviously some people will want to keep anonymity. Some people won't be comfortable asking certain questions. So Tilo, this week, your safe word is going to be high ground. So if there are any questions that you don't want to answer, you let me and Mort know that you're going to take the high ground on this question. So we won't take any offense. We'll just go right on to the next one. So I think it's a good chance to start with, especially for the newer viewers to myself. Mort, how about you go and introduce yourself, where you're at, because you're on Twitch, right? And Tilo, obviously introduce yourself as well. And I think it's not a bad idea to sort of explain where we all are in the game at the moment, to give a good overview of like what points of view we're coming from as well.
Yeah, so I am on YouTube. The channel pretty much is pretty quiet, but there's a lot of good new player info in there. I try to focus on that end. And then I recently moved over to Twitch. I actually did it almost a year ago, but there was nothing here. And I'm getting a lot of chat saying congrats on gas. Thank you guys. That was a good time. We'll get into that probably as well. But for me, it's an adult channel. It's very, I hope, entertaining. I think people are finding it entertaining. And I don't have a high ground. I have no secrets. You guys pretty much know everything about me. So how about you, Tilo? Well, we're going to move on to Tilo, I suppose, eh?
I'm pretty much just on YouTube, same as my name right here. It's Tilomad92. I just do pretty much my GAC videos. I do roster reviews too for anybody that's interested. It takes a minute for me to get them out, but eventually they're going to come out. I also do videos, just basically whatever I'm interested in. And that's about it, pretty much for me.
So
I mean, this...
Sorry, go ahead, I have a feeling that the MAD, he could probably explain where it comes from, but I think the MAD stands for Mad Skills. If you guys haven't seen this guy's thumbnails, he has no reason to clickbait. You just look at his thumbnails and you're like, wow, this guy's put some work in, man. And the crazy part is you do it on your phone.
Yeah, I do pretty much everything on the phone, and I take no credit for my thumbnails. It's pretty much all comic book related. I love the comics.
Well, you know what, though? I mean, you're putting in the effort to find them, so, you know, it's very impressive. Right. Very impressive.
Well, I couldn't believe the thing that jumped out for both me and Mort was your editing skills. obviously there's a lot of nice gameplay in there, but as well the editing, the little catchy song at the start that gets me every time, and yeah. So I mean, in terms of your GP, where are you at the game at the moment? Are you mid game? Are you end game? Have you just started?
Hey, before he answers that, I just want to say one thing. The other thing that caught me about him is if you guys listen to his commentary, I kind of relate it to, you know how when Snoop Dogg sings a song, he's not really rapping, he's smooth talking, and the way that he says things in verses, this is what he reminds me of. It's like the Snoop Dogg of SWGoH. It's smooth, buttery smooth. But go ahead.
Oh, that's a high bar right there. Though I'm pretty much, I would say, maybe late mid game. I'm not really with the whales out there. I'm not in Division 1. I'm actually in Division 2, but I'm almost to Division 1. So I'm seeing some difficult stuff, but also seeing some easy stuff.
You have a Galactic Legend, right?
Yeah, I got Supreme Leader Kylo.
Nice, okay. And how competitive would you say you are? Because you seem a pretty chill guy when we've watched you in your videos. How much does a GAC loss mean that you're in a mood for the rest of the day? So, you know, how competitive do you take this game?
So you guys basically are seeing me maybe like a day after, 2 days after. I'm very competitive.
Down? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so if I were to stream, this would not be as chill as I am in the videos. Pretty much anything I do, I'm competitive at. I love playing basketball. So
me too.
You'll see I'm the guy yelling out there, yelling at my teammates. And after the game, it's all hugs. But in the middle, we're at war.
Great, yeah, because I think both myself and Mort are pretty competitive guys as well. Or at least we try to be. You know, sometimes it's a big face palm for a lot of things, but you know, we try and be. I think we're all pretty you know, pretty competitive in terms of how we play and the time. I mean, obviously that kind of answers one of my other questions. Was going to be, do you spend money on this game or are you completely free to play? Because I'm certainly free to play. I think Mort, you're free to play as well.
I got about $260 in, but probably half of that's just for contents because I needed to do things to create content, like buying crystal packs to refresh Arena and stuff like that. But my two other accounts are completely 100% free to play, except for a hyperdrive on one account that the Twitch followers bought my wife. Long story.
Yeah. So do you tend to spend on this game, Tilo, or are you free to play? Do you do it the hard way?
I say my wallet is free to play just because I haven't spent any of my real personal money, but I have had like gift cards and stuff like that from work, and I did get myself a hyperdrive bundle, but it didn't come out of my wallet.
Hey, they're the best, right? And so, because obviously going on the news that's sort of just happened as well. Now, Mort went through that rite of passage. What was it, last night or this morning? And I remember going to bed with Mort's stream on. He'd been on a couple of hours, and I woke up and he was still on, trying to get gas. So, so that kind of brings me to another question: is with the gas event coming back, Tilo, I take it you've done the gas event, right?
Yeah, I had a gas for a while. I think it was the second time he came around.
Yeah, same. Second time for me as well. So, and Mort, this will be fresh in your memory as well. How do you guys, so more so for Tilo, how do you remember that gas event? Do you remember it fondly? Did you absolutely hate it?
For me personally, I think I really liked it just because it was like a more challenging event. I'm not really a big fan of the easy events. I like it to be a little bit of a grind where you have to kind of remod, you have to know a strategy. Almost to the same thing with the Malik event, where the Malik you had to have a strategy. This one also has a little bit to that extent, but not as much.
Go ahead.
Yeah, more. Yeah, I was going to say. Well, actually, I'll address that. So for me, the gas event actually has quite a lot of strategy, and I don't know whether I'm overthinking it, but I tended to find that P2 and P4, because I played it every single time it came round, obviously from when I could. I think the first time I sort of completed it was, I think I was on and off. I remember being on and off on that day, playing it in work and things like that. And I think it took me a good part of anywhere between 4 and 6 hours on the day. How long did it take you, Tilo, do you reckon?
I think I recorded mine. It took a little bit less than an hour for me.
Oh, nice. Okay. And Mort, tell us a little bit about your gas event as well.
All right. So I'm trying to
Are we talking
I'm trying to do something
PTSD?
in the back. Yeah, yes. I'm trying to do something in the background, so my head's weaving and bobbing around my camera. But I'm trying to set up so we can watch his videos while we're doing this. We literally just do this together. But as for me, gas last night, I did my GAC. We got a 3-0, and then directly went into gas. And I had already had ships done, so I didn't have to do that one. I went into phase 2, and I'm like, I'm going to go into it raw. I went into it raw. Didn't watch any videos, didn't do anything, and then it was 4 hours, absolute 4 hours of pain. But I actually enjoyed phase 2. Got to phase 3, it was a joke, got right through it, first try. Phase 4, oh good lord. Oh good lord.
You've got a relic droidica as well, right?
3 relic droids, G12 on the other 2. It was droidica just could not take the right turn, couldn't stop getting stunned, couldn't. And I was so convinced, even at this point, that the clones were changing speeds every time I restarted it. Every time I did something. Yeah, remods and apple juice. Remods and apple juice. That phase 4, I hope nobody ever has to do that. I know you will, but horrible. PTSD is a good word for it.
And I genuinely think it is a rite of passage for anyone playing this game. I mean, for me, I don't know how you guys feel about it. Obviously, it will still be quite new for you, Mort, but I think me and Tilo will be able to look back at this with a little bit fonder memories. At the time, I remember hating it, and I remember thinking, hang on a minute, I've grinded these characters out for like 2 months and whatever, and this is insane. Phase 2 took me longer than I thought. And then phase 4 was just, as you say, ridiculous until the third time it came around. And then I kind of got a good idea of doing it maybe one every 7 to 8 times successfully. So that's why I think there is a lot more strategy than people think with it, because I think you can repeat that result as well. But for me, my most enjoyable sort of time in this game, and I'm sort of on the eve of, I've just upgraded all my characters for Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. So I'm now doing the events or the stages, with the tickets for Kylo Ren. But for me, still in this game, the gas event is still by and far my absolute favourite. Now, I know that some people will prefer the Jedi Knight Luke event. I think that cinematically is fantastic. But for me, I think they have tweaked that gas event just right. And for me, I think it is that huge thing of overcoming adversity. I think it will get the best of lesser players. And I think this is what keeps us playing. And 100%, I think this is sunken cost fallacy to a T, because you invest that much time, you're not going to go quitting anytime soon. They've got us. They've absolutely got us. So, Tilo, how do you remember the gas event? Did you enjoy it? Did you hate it? And is it your favourite sort of moment in this game as well?
Hey, sorry about that a second ago, guys. I was trying to add a browser source, and the YouTube video came across super loud. I'll make sure to edit that out. That was horrible. All right, go ahead.
Oh, no problem.
No, for me personally, I really like the gas event. It's definitely a top 5 event in this game. I like pretty much anything with a little bit of difficulty. I don't know if there's any people out there that actually play Destiny. I like the original Destiny game just because I'm more of a carrot on the stick guy. If you can dangle that carrot in front of me, that's what I like. I like having like something to focus on. It's a little more challenging because when you get that character, when you get that reward, there's no better feeling than that.
Yeah, too right. And I'm very much of the same way of thinking that, when you get to the top of the mountain, it's not really the prize that's the thing. It's the actual overcoming the event. And that's what I think CG do quite well, is they create good events. And I know we all complain about them being too hard, but a lot of them, it is that feeling of satisfaction. Like, Mort, how are you feeling today, having completed that gas event?
My voice is gone. It's absolutely gone. The rage at certain points. I woke up this morning and I have all morning, man. It's a good thing nothing got broke, I'm telling you.
Are you sure that wasn't the apple juice kicking in?
Oh, God, no, the apple juice kicked in the other end. This one right here, the voice is shot. A lot of yelling.
Oh, that's cool, man. So, where you're at the moment, Tila, you've got a Galactic Legend. with the new ones as well, do you see yourself going for another one? Do you see yourself still going for Ray? Do you see yourself going for one of the new ones? What are you chasing at the moment?
Right now, I'm chasing Ray. I just want to get her done because I know if I don't get her down, I'm pretty much never going to get her. But I definitely want Palpatine. I want those nice robes that Hugh Hefner robes. I think he's really cool.
Yeah, and we haven't even seen any kits yet, you know. So this is an interesting thing with someone with a Galactic Legend. It's kind of nice to get your input as well. And more, it'd be great to get your input on these new Galactic Legends as well, because I think so. In terms of the requirements so far, I actually think they favour. So the first Galactic Legends were tough for a lot of people, especially from the free to play perspective, because it was a grind. And I have taken the last 3.5 months of absolute discipline and keeping every single day, every single refresh, keeping focused on what I was going to do. And I hate hoarding gear. I hate hoarding anything, relic mats or whatever. I'm horrendous at it. So it's nice to finally kind of be getting some action with it. But here's the argument. I mean, I know we haven't seen all the requirements so far needed. Do you guys think or certainly Tilo here as well, do you think this is a lot kinder to players now who've already got a Galactic Legend? So is money making money in this game is what I'm trying to get at.
Go ahead, Tilo.
For me personally, I think it's really good, and I think they are going to make money off of it just for the high-end players alone. If your opponent has 2 Galactic Legends and you have 4, obviously you have the advantage, and everybody wants the advantage in this game. Nobody wants to be the underdog, so I think they're definitely going to do good with these Galactic Legends.
For me, like the Galactic Legends, I caught half the question because I was trying to set stuff up, but I got this video playing in the background. So for me, the Galactic Legends aren't going to affect me for quite a while. And like I said, for Gas, it took me 5 months to actually gear up to get him, just to gear them. I'm not talking about level, and they were done. From a standpoint, I love the fact that there's something else that they can spend on, because the spenders keep the game going, plain and simple. Competitive-wise, the only thing I do not like is, I was talking to somebody about this last night, the Galactic Legends completely changed the aspect, especially in Grand Arena, and there's some other areas as well, that you have to break up your other teams in order to make that happen, and that's really, really, really rough. Really rough. So there's some of them fine comic books. There's guys you can see. I got his video playing there in the background.
So what do you mean about sort of breaking up your team? Do you mean to counter them? So
like Thrawn can be a tool, but then you're talking about taking like JKR to counter them, taking him off of your Jedi team. There's so many different, like Watt obviously can go anywhere, but you got your Jedi team. Your Jedi Knight Revan is a team. Even under a Basti lead, Jedi Knight Revan just fits there. So it really screws the game up from that standpoint for people at that level. And I feel bad for the guys that don't have one or are having to face one. I mean, it's really rough. It's really rough.
Yeah, and that's sort of something, I mean, even at the moment, so I had Gas, and probably what you'll find, Mort, as well, even though you think, right, well, I'm going to get a huge advantage on my current opponents, I know that probably it's going to matchmake you with other people who've got Gas, and then, luckily, you've got an advantage on someone else who is a collector. And it's the same for Tilo as well. You probably find that even though you're in Division 2, how many Galactic Legends are you facing usually on average with a pool of 8 with your Grand Arenas?
Usually on average, maybe only like 1 or 2 don't have them, but most of the opponents I face definitely have them.
Ouch.
Wow. Okay. So so you're just under 4.5 mil, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So to put it in perspective, before unleashing all the horde, I was 5.7, and I was always pretty careful. I was pretty bad at being a collector, as in, like, I was a very big collector, and any piece of gear I would put on any character, for the first couple of years. Yep. And then obviously Grand Arena came around, and then we learned a little bit more and I think everyone adjusted their rosters accordingly. But at the moment, I'm 5.7 million GP, and I usually face 1 or 2 at the very most. I think I've only ever had 2 Galactic Legends in my pool, once or twice. So you're right in terms of, with you in Division 2 at 4.5 million, that's having only one or two without one is incredible to get that sort of side of it, because, as you say, I think it inflates things a huge amount, you know. So I think both Mort, you know, you're going to be facing a lot of other gas owners, and I think for me, I'm going to be facing a lot more Galactic Legends. And from a PvP standpoint, it's interesting that, you know, you grind for 4 months or 5 months or however long it is, and you just end up putting it on defense, both usually in territory wars and in Grand Arena as well. It kind of feels like you're shortchanged a little bit, but I guess they do raids very well, and they do, you know, they do a lot of things very well, you know, Grand Arena 3v3 and things like that. But yeah, so I think I'm more interested in Palpatine at the moment than I am Luke. But I actually think the requirements for the new Galactic Legends are pretty friendly, actually. They could have been a lot worse. I know we've got the fourth one, and I know that Farm Boy Luke is going to be in there at Relic 7. That's going to be a tough pill to swallow for everyone. But yeah, that'll be interesting.
The big one for the GLs for me is the event isn't that difficult. It's not gas or C-3PO.
No, and I mean, you've hit upon a good point there, because you think about how many guides there are for General Skywalker, right? You can go and watch all the guides and have all the knowledge, and then go into that event. But you can have a rough idea of what you're meant to do. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to complete it. However, I found with the Supreme Leader Kylo Ren guide, they're pretty much spot on, and there's no real RNG. You know, as long as you follow a certain turn order, damage, etc., you've got to be pretty unlucky to sort of fail on this as well, you know.
Oh yeah, for sure. Nightmare's asking you, Moon, if you saw Taliana's interview about Division 1 discrepancy on the Escape podcast.
I didn't. I'm still meaning it's still on the watch later. There will be, obviously, Division 1 is a huge... and yeah, talking about this, when are you guys... I'll come back to this point, but when are you guys going to take the plunge into Division 1, by the way?
It's going to be a little while for me. I'm about 100,000 away, but I've got some work to do roster-wise with DR and Malik. As soon as I get Malik, I'll probably jump.
Okay. And I know for me, I'm trying to hold back as long as I can. I want to be that person that with 2 GLs in Division 2. I'm really focused on my GP, and I really try to keep it down. So if I can get 2 GLs in Division 2, that's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tale as old as time. The top of Division 2 is so much harder than the bottom of Division 1. I'll be honest with you. When I think everyone does exactly the same thing. And honestly, when you first start off in Division 1, it's an absolute cakewalk compared to the top of Division 2, you know, because there's so many competitive players in Division 2. I recently saw, I think I showed Mort some screenshots of some guys who were ultra focused, and they had 2 GLs at about 2 million, 2.5 million, I think it was. And it's just crazy how competitive sort of, or how focused. I don't know whether they're alt accounts or like legit play. They've got to be alt accounts. No one starting the game knows what to do. We're all absolute hot messes when we start the game. But yeah, they've got to be super ultra focused alts. But going back on that Taliana interview, no, I haven't, so I can't comment on it too much. But yeah, I was going to say there is a huge. I mean, it's more than time that they readjusted these divisions, I think. But it's a subject that's been covered. But no, I can't comment on the interview because I haven't seen it yet. So
I wanted to also touch on what you said about the getting those characters, putting them on defense. I was going to say that's probably one of the most funnest aspects to this game that I think, just because you can get your GL, put them on defense, but having the counters, especially for a GL, that's one of the most satisfying feelings too, especially when you beat a Kylo Ren with a Darth Revan squad or a Vader squad or a Trail lead, a Thrawn lead. That's like one of the best feelings to me in this game, especially getting to all those counters tuned right perfectly to where you get even more banners than you would if you get a GL versus GL.
Yeah, because again, if you want to set your GL on defense, then you know that they're probably doing the same thing. So you need a reliable counter. And I think Vader, when that rework hit, that's one of the best things I think CG has ever done, because it made counters now for GLs so much better in terms of instead of something being insanely expensive like Darth Revan and Geo Brood Alpha and Thrawn and Watt, and this made it so much more viable to keep a strong offense within Grand Arena. So, and talking of Grand Arena, what are your guys' favourite defences? What's your go-to defences? I know, Mort, you go man-to-man, so you base your defence on, like, your opponent.
Yep.
I'm very much a zonal player, so I'm guilty of putting the same defence every time. Tilo, what's your go-to defences?
I definitely scout out my opponent, but I'm guilty of that too. I put a lot of the same defense on my defense, but especially if it's working. I'm like a coach in NBA. If it's working, I'm not going to change it. But depending on the matchups, I'm definitely going to switch it up a little bit, especially if they have the advantage on mods or characters as well.
I like to be the Phil Jackson of it all. I scout my opponents.
There we go. That's my team right there.
So Tilo as well, tell us a little bit, because I know you're doing something with Grand Arena, right? Are you doing a fantasy league?
It's a little bit of like a fantasy league, just a tournament, just pretty much everybody in the Discord. I got the inspiration, of course, from Escape Podcast. They're doing it there with the content creators, but I wanted to do it for everybody that wants to join. They don't have to be a content creator. They can be just a person in the Discord, and we could really talk mess, talk trash to each other, and see who comes out on top.
I
So you're doing like
I put an invite to your Discord right now in chat. I also put a link to your YouTube.
I appreciate it. And Ford's actually killing it right now. He's actually tied for, what are you, first or second?
I don't know. I haven't looked. I just told you guys what I did the other day, and I don't full clear a lot. So for me to be in first is insane.
Yeah, you're killing it right now.
So how does this fantasy league work then? So this is open to anyone, right? And so I come into your server, take you out for dinner, and then I'm in the fantasy league pool, right?
Yeah, you just let me know. Just basically give me a history of how your matches went. You get a point for full clear, you get a point for a win, and you get a point if you win the championship.
Okay,
so that's
sounds
basically
cool,
how it goes. Pretty simple. Just keep it simple so all divisions have a fair chance.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I see. So it's not based on divisions or GP or anything like that. So anyone can finish top spot.
Yeah, if you're a winning player, you can definitely win. We might do a couple of changes in this upcoming season. Maybe start incorporating defensive holds to really help out those people in Division 1 that aren't getting full clears.
So when you say about new season, how long do you do it for? So how long is a season last in your fantasy league?
Same season as a regular GAC. Same runtime.
So 12 fights then?
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. That sounds good. Because as I said, that's what we're trying to get. Because as I said, when you say you do Grand Arena, this is the kind of things that we want to know about you. Because that's a fantastic little thing where anyone can come in your Discord, they can flex about their Grand Arena, and there's a nice and hey, who doesn't like to be competitive when it comes to things that we can show off with Grand Arena. So I'm glad I remembered that as well.
I got a good question for you when you get a minute.
Yeah.
Tilo, what is your strengths in the game and what is your weakness?
I'm pretty much my own worst enemy. That would definitely be my weakness. Sometimes I get a little overconfident and I throw in teams that I probably shouldn't against certain squads, and I end up losing. I don't know. Probably my strength would be I do a lot of research. I look at a lot of videos. Even when I'm at work, I listen to podcasts about the game. Just pretty much a student.
All right, I'm going to put you on the spot here. Who's your favorite content creator?
I was just gonna say actually, that was my next question. Exactly, was what other content creators do you enjoy watching?
Yep.
I gotta say it's got to be the Gambit podcast. Those guys over there. Yep. I just love the way they play. Just real smart.
Yep.
Try to jack as much stuff as I can for them with my own GACs.
Yep, that's a good play. Very smart crew over there.
Too right, and it's so second nature for them as well. I mean, these guys are so good at Grand Arena. This is muscle memory at its finest. And you give Solo Base anything, he'll break down a defense. These guys are just so good. They use their whole roster. it feels like, and I know that they won't feel like this, but it feels like they don't have a weakness in their roster from an outside perspective. But obviously everyone is their own worst critic, and I know that they will be super unhappy with their roster, and they'll be like, well, I'm missing this character, and well, I'd like to have Scarif Rebel Pathfinder up to Relic 4 because of this counter, this niche counter that they want to do, So, but no, the Gambit podcast is great. Who else do you try and check in on regularly?
I check in on a lot of people. I love Operation Metaverse too. We're like dynamic between T-Buddy and Maurice. They always have me dying at work. I gotta say my man Mort too. I'm always trying to be there listening at work.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah. And
you too, Moon.
Well, I'm not getting a huge amount of videos out at the moment. I'm letting you guys do the work for me, in all honesty here. But yeah, I mean, well, more so for myself. Personal situation is I've been super busy, so in real life, so obviously videos take a backstage at the moment, so it's nice to be able to sort of create a little something with you guys as well tonight, so and it is great to meet some interesting characters as well. So, and going back to what you said about Operation Metaverse, and me and Mort have chatted about this before. So for me, I think that that good old Maurice is possibly one of the funniest guys that I've ever seen, but he doesn't even try to be funny. I don't quite know what it is, but yeah, he's super funny though.
Who are we talking about?
And then good old Maurice.
Oh yes, funny guy. Oh god, yes.
I don't think he even knows it. He is a gem of this community. And obviously we've got Reality Skew Gamers. Are you able to catch much of those stuff?
I actually do a lot. They were actually one of the first YouTubers out there that I actually listened to. They really helped progress my account because I only started 2 years ago on this account.
Oh, okay.
So they were one of the first ones I actually listened to, and I was in there asking questions. Finn is a super smart guy. Same thing with Ranger. They really know this game.
And they've been putting out great content for 5 years as well. And that's what a lot of people forget. These guys have been doing it for maybe the longest time. I don't know. I don't know if there's anyone who supersedes them that's still going these days,
I got a question from chat that's a good one, if you don't mind. So 2 things either we could change about the game, what would they be?
Ooh, that's hard. Oh my goodness. Got me on the spot. I would like live PvP, but then I go back and forth. I'm like, how's that going to work? I did play Disney Sorcerer Arena, and their live PvP was pretty hot garbage. So I wouldn't want anything like that in here. But things to change. I personally, I like everything in the game. I know a lot of people are negative about it.
Me too.
But there's really honestly nothing I wouldn't change. I like it pretty much everything.
Do you think that the gear crunch is about right, or would you make that easier at this stage for newer players to be able to catch up? So things like stun guns, carbontes, zetas, do you think that's about the right level, or would you make that more accessible? So do you think that Galactic Challenges, the new rewards, they've got it about right?
I think we need help there. I think we need help with the stun guns. Bad. There's just too many people with stun guns. I've got 30 characters minimum sitting there waiting to go to Gear 9.
And I agree. If you put them in the weekly challenges for like the same way we get our carbontes.
Yeah, they just did actually. This last one had stun guns.
Oh, see, that's awesome.
Yep.
I think Tilo was on about when you go and sim your challenges each day. So where you get carbontes and you get like your I can't even remember what other gears in there. But on Sunday they've got all of them available, and Monday they've got carbontes as well. But yeah, I actually don't think I wouldn't even mind if they did. You only got 2 or 3 per roll. I think it would really help.
Yeah, even just a little. And even just a little bit would just help, especially the new players. But I personally, I know it's an unpopular opinion, but I like the long game. I like having the gears because it's really an investment. You can't just go and farm, I don't know, a cup and gear them up. If you do that, that's going to take away from all the resources you have to another character that can actually help in the game. And I like that everyone's account is different, and your decisions really affect how you play this game.
Yeah, big time. So we got another chat question I think is a good one. Who is the greatest guild leader of all time?
Ooh.
Or what guild do you represent, actually, Tilo? What guild are you in at the moment? Give them a shout out.
I'm in Dark Lords, Cloud City Underground.
I'm putting you on the spot because I think this person may have been your guild leader.
Oh, he's definitely the best guild leader.
Grand Patron asked that question.
Huh?
Grand Patron asked that question.
Oh, man, Grande was a great guild leader too.
Just not the greatest. Sorry, Grande.
No. You know what, Grande? You could be the greatest. Yeah, there's a reason I call you Supreme Leader Grande. He's definitely up there.
I told you I was going to put you on the spot somewhere. That was a great one. All right, go ahead, Moon.
You guys got me sweating.
Yeah, so how many guilds have you been in? Are you a guild hopper? Are you loyal to the guild through thick and thin? What's your... Because I've been in, I think, like 3 guilds during 5 years. Mort, how many have you been in?
I've been in the same guild from day one, basically.
Okay, and Tilo, how many guilds have you been in since starting this game?
I've been in 3. The first one, or actually, I'm lying. I've been in only 2. As soon as I get that parking spot, I stay in there. I don't move until I'm needed to move, or they need me to go help somebody else, and that's pretty much what I do.
And where do you see yourself in a year's time? So what do you want to have checked off in the next 12 months with this game?
Definitely want to get Ray and another Galactic Legend. If I can squeak it in, Luke would be on the plan list as well.
Yeah, I mean, Luke for me is like a mini Galactic Legend. And I was just thinking about this before we went on air. And when I was thinking about it, so I was thinking, obviously, you know, on Star Wars Galaxy Heroes.gg, you can go on and you can have a look at how much gear is needed. And let's say we're looking at Luke, and we go, oh, right, okay, well, I need this amount of gear. Well, actually, you've got to get Jedi Knight Luke first, because he's one of the requirements. And that's something insane. Let's say you're starting from the start. It's about 1,000 Carbontes. So you've now got to add on 1,000 Carbontes to that Galactic Legend. So even though they feel a little bit easier, they're actually not, because there's a legendary character in there as well. Again, there's you know, when you get to a certain level, there's no bad byproduct, because you can hack it with the GP. But I guess my question here is, do you think there's going to be another legendary sprung upon us for the Emperor's Galactic Legend?
I personally don't. You do?
I do. Go ahead.
I don't know if there would be another legendary. I definitely see another marquee coming. And they could do a lot of different cool characters, but I don't know. A legendary would be tough.
I think with I like what people are leading toward with gas right now. It might not necessarily be gas, but I think someone along that line like that is it just only makes sense, because under one you've got to get Luke. Who are you going to get under the other one? And gas could make sense because he eventually did fall to the Emperor, but I don't know.
Well, I would like to see, going on that, I would love to see a fallen Anakin legendary. I think that would be incredible. And I think that would get people's wallets dusted off again.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think he's got to be one of the most sought-after characters in this game that still hasn't come to this game. I remember 3-4 years ago, people were wanting this character. I guess, but then again, 3 or 4 years ago, people still wanted Hondo. So yeah, I guess it doesn't always come to fruition. I've got a feeling that there will be another legendary dropped on us.
Where's Baby Yoda?
Well, I mean, season 2's got to come yet, you know. So I think they are gonna. Yeah, that brings us on to the next point about the Mandalorian as well. I think that Baby Yoda is going to probably come along with like Flame Trooper and a few new, and the IG as well. I think we're going to have more to come from the Mandalorian as well. I don't quite know how it works. How, you know, they've got to have approval from who is it? The big bosses, as to what characters go in this game or not, but I can see a lot of there's a lot of great options when it comes to putting Mandalorian characters into this game as well, and I think they get people excited as well.
They could have so much characters with the Mandalorian. You give me Bill Burr into the game.
Yeah. Oh,
man, I'm gonna go crazy. Yeah. Also, those Twi'leks, the brother and sister, I think that would be another cool addition to the bounty hunters. There's a lot of characters in the Mandalorian. that they could pull out.
Yeah, they remind me a lot of what are they called? Zalbar and Mission. You know, I think they would work really get well together. I think you could have great synergy between them, and they could certainly form like a really solid B plus, A minus team. Because I think that for me, Grand Arenas aren't won by the metas a lot of the time. I know with Galactic Legends that's probably not true, but I think that if you're up against an even matchup, it's these A minus or B plus B teams, the ones that people underestimate. I think that's what gets you the wins a lot of the time, as opposed to just meta teams. But I think in a straight up roster versus roster, where people are, they've got Gas, they've got Darth Revan, they've got Malak, or whatever it is. I think it's the B teams that pull people through and get people wins. So I would love to see that, like a really solid B plus, A minus team there from the new characters from The Mandalorian. And talking about that, Mort, you haven't seen the new trailer, right?
I have not seen the new trailer yet.
But Tilo, me and you have, right?
Oh, I'm so hyped right now.
I know.
Can't wait for the 30th.
It's not long. It's about 6 weeks away, right? So it's going to be coming around pretty soon.
Was it end of October?
Yeah,
30th.
I thought it was early. That sucks.
No. So 6 weeks in the grand scheme of thing, it's not going to be long. So yeah, and anything else that you want to talk Star Wars Galaxy Heroes or your channel about before we move into the real let's get to know Tilomad?
Yes, down to the dirt.
Oh yeah.
No, I just like playing this game. I'm really excited. Like I said earlier, I'm a student of the game, and I just enjoy everyone, all the different content creators out there. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Cool, man. Okay, so let's get to know you a little bit better. Tell us your story. Just in as much detail or as little detail as you like as well. Tell us a little bit about yourself, and tell us something that, and leave us with something that your fans might not necessarily know. Because as I say, you've only, as I said before, or off stream, what have you got subscribers now on YouTube? About 140, 150?
143. Although
143.
It better be up higher now that I linked his YouTube channel.
Too right. And this always puzzles me about YouTube, is how hard that first traction is as well. So yeah, tell us a little bit of your story about getting into streaming, and like why you first started streaming, why you first recorded a video, and yeah, tell us a little bit about your journey on YouTube.
It was a bet. One of my friends, his name is Sofa King. We're actually going to do a podcast together, but he's been wanting to stream on Twitch for so long and do YouTube that I was like, yo, it's not that hard. Let me try it. It was more to be out of spite to him that I actually got into it, and I ended up enjoying it. So, and I like the community that comes with it, and makes me happy.
Yeah, and that's an interesting insight into why you got into it. I mean, as soon as you're in, it's like a bug hits you, and you're always thinking of new ideas for videos, and you're always thinking of cool things to do for your channels and stuff. So yeah, but as I said, hopefully you can get a few more subscribers, and I think when you get to 1,000, YouTube gives you a nice bump as well. But yeah, I've got to say the videos are absolutely incredible. We both love to watch them. So tell us a little bit about your story outside of streaming and outside of Galaxy Heroes. And
who are you?
Go into as much or as little detail as you like.
Where do I start? I'm actually 28 years old. I don't know what do you guys want to know. Ask me any questions.
What do you do for a living?
My life.
What industry are you in?
I'm so gonna make him. I'm so gonna make him at some point take the high ground. All right, you're in the food industry.
Oh no way! I'm not gonna take that high ground. We're at it all day. We stay low ground.
Yeah, you're right.
No matter the cost, not just play.
No.
No, I work for Pepsi, so that's pretty much what
nice.
I do.
That's a good job. I had a Pepsi by me. They do really well over there.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. So. And you were saying you're into basketball. Do you like any other sports at all?
Oh, I'm a big NBA head. Lakers are my team.
Oh.
All you guys out there that like any other team, forget you guys. What's your team, Mort?
Oh, it's anybody but the Lakers.
Oh my goodness.
I'm a Clippers guy.
Oh no! Why, Mort?
Just playing.
I was gonna pull a Padme. You're breaking my heart.
Yeah, I'm a player follower. Like I'm a huge Barkley fan. So well, growing up, I was a huge Moses Malone, Dr. J. So I tend to follow players more than I do teams.
That's cool too.
The only thing
go
ahead.
No. I say I do the same thing. I stay with my home base Lakers, but I love Luka. I love Giannis. Players like that with like good skill.
Yeah.
Oh, Giannis is incredible. Oh my God, the Greek freak, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean he's just an absolute athletic monster. I mean, you imagine him turning up at your pickup game. You all may as well go home. You know, this is different. This is a future Hall of Famer we're talking about here. You know, he is so good.
What whereabouts you? You're in California, is that correct?
Yeah, I'm over here in Cali.
Yep. Anywhere near the fires, weren't you?
Yeah, have you got the fires going on?
We're a little bit close to the fire, towards like the Big Bear, Ukaipa area. So I do get ash every once in a while. Today's not that bad though.
Speaking of getting ash, do we need to go that direction? How well you get ash? I mean ash, or are you married? Children?
No, I'm married and
damn it,
I got kids too.
How long you been married, man?
I've been married for 7 years now? It's been a minute.
Nice. So
wow, that soon goes quick.
Is she good about supporting you with this?
Well, does she know about this?
I'm gonna give you a little bit even more information. So when we were dating and we were even like first being married, I did not share my love for Star Wars pretty much with anybody. Even going through up with high school and everything, I would say I'm a closet Star Wars fan. But once when you got married and stuff, I was like, I'm not gonna hide this, and I just went full throttle on Star Wars because that's really the only thing I'm into other than like sports.
Uh-huh. And what's the first Star Wars film you ever watched? Where did you first realize, oh man, I've got the bug. I've got the Star Wars bug.
Honestly, for me, it would have to be toys. Even when I was little, I know the first film I watched was Return of the Jedi, and Jabba just captured my imagination.
Oh, truth.
The whole palace and
truth.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think
Jabba, Boba.
I think that's what the originals did so well. For the kids of that generation as well, it was something like no one had ever seen before. It just threw you into this infinite universe with unlimited possibilities as well. And the character creation was always for me so interesting, even though their lines were pretty shallow. And George Lucas isn't, as we all know, a great writer in terms of script, but boy, he really nailed it in the trilogies. And that's why, I don't think there can be any hate in the game at the moment for like original trilogy characters and things like that. So who's your favorite Star Wars character of all time? So first film we watched was Return of the Jedi. Who's your favorite character?
Well, you can't leave it like that. Who's your favorite and who do you dislike?
Ooh. Vader would definitely be my favorite character. And I know that's very vanilla answer, but especially with all these new comics that are out there right now, they really just dive into the headspace of Vader. He's probably the most just complicated character in Star Wars. Just his leaning towards the light, leaning towards the dark at the same time. He almost reminds me of Kylo, and Kylo would be probably a runner-up on that. Character I don't like. I'm gonna have to say Zero the Hutt. I still can't stand him. He's probably the worst. He's probably the worst character. I just can't stand his voice.
Yeah. Totally with you on that one. It's so funny when you were talking about Darth Vader on the video I'm playing of yours on the screen. You're looking at your Darth Vader and his stats. It was cool.
That'll save us some editing. I tell you, that throws me back as well. I'm in the middle of watching Rebels at the moment, and I've just seen sort of Ahsoka and Vader as well. And you're right, this character is phenomenal across all Star Wars lore and extended universe and everything like that. I've got to agree with you. I think whether it's like Anakin Skywalker or whether it's Darth Vader, I think some iteration is my favorite, but I'm not quite sure which one yet. So as I said, it is a very complex character, a lot more than people think,
Absolutely.
especially with the comics as well. So you're a big comic book guy as well?
Oh man, I love the comic books. I love the book. Shout out to the new Thrawn book. That was amazing. Can't wait for them to finish this series that they have. But yeah, I read pretty much all the comic books, all the books. I love everything.
True fan, true fan.
Yeah, too right. And have you got anything else more, or shall we? Because I know we've been on for about an hour now. Anything else you want to ask Tilo, or Tilo, anything else you want to talk about?
What kind of car, if you could have a car, vehicle, if you could afford it, what would you buy?
Ooh. You're asking the wrong person.
This is a good chance for chat. If chat do have any questions before we let Tilo go, before we shoot him out the airlock, let us know in chat if you have any questions that you'd like to ask Tilo as well.
I'm very vanilla when it comes to my cars. I know my friends, they really they make fun of me because I drive a Corolla, and I'm as happy as can be because I save money on gas.
Yeah, buddy.
So give me something that doesn't spend money on gas, so I can go a lot of places.
Amen, brother. I'd get you an electric vehicle. How's that? Get you a Nissan Leaf or something, man. Maybe a Tesla.
Oh, a Tesla.
Electric.
There you go.
Something,
that's what I want.
yeah.
I want a Tesla.
Tesla's coming out with an affordable version in the next couple of years too, so that would be an option. But dude, I'm the same way, man. My car is 11 years old. Things falling apart, and I'm still driving it and loving it because it's got comfortable seats. It's
there you go.
Molded to my butt. Here's a question from chat. What 5 characters would you love to come to the game? If you could think of 5.
Good question. Good question.
I just put a video out on characters that I want to be required for Palpatine.
Let me see if I can find it.
And these were pretty much the ones I had. Commander Fox. I think that would be a really cool character because he's probably the most hated clone out there. And just see the community fight about that. What else did I have on there? I had Snoke. I think Snoke would be an interesting character too. Another hated character, but I think he would be really powerful.
Is that the new legendary coming, you think?
I don't know if they would make him legendary. I think people would freak. Definitely a marquee.
Well, yeah, definitely a marquee C-, yeah.
Joe Bangles wants to know if when you go to Vegas, what's the first game you play?
Oh, man.
I already know the answer.
You know what? I don't even gamble that much. But if I had to, I'm going to keep it simple and do 21 just because it reminds me of Sabak.
Wasn't what I thought.
Yeah.
I was sure you were going to be a roulette guy. I don't know why. Okay. I used to work at the casino, so craps is my game. That was my favorite.
Yeah, that takes a little bit more. Everyone can jump into roulette. That probably is the most popular game for your casino noobs, I guess. And then blackjack is pretty easy to pick up, but as well. But craps takes a little bit more, doesn't it?
It sure does. I think that's all I got for Tilo for right now. I mean, guys, this was kind of a throw together. So you guys that are watching on YouTube right now on Moon's channel, we are going to improve the. I literally had 30 minutes to do this, so Gas had held me up, and Moon, thanks for the idea. Tilo, thank you for being our first special guest. Love your stuff, man. You guys got to check him out. The link is out there. Tilomad92. Tilomad92. Check him out. Moon?
Yeah, and as I said, thank you very much once again, Tilo, for joining us, giving up your time to come and say hello and shoot the breeze with a couple of old guys, so a couple of old bounty hunters. But yeah, I mean, we wish you all the best. We love your videos at the moment, and thank you very much for coming on as well, man. So thank you very much. Anything you want to leave? Oh yeah, I forgot to ask. Tell us one thing about yourself that your fans wouldn't necessarily know about you from the videos.
Ooh. Oh man. I don't know. I'm pretty open with myself. I can tell you how tall I am. I'm 6'3".
Damn.
Yeah.
What else?
I don't know. If you guys have any questions, hit me up in the Discord. I'll pretty much tell you anything.
Yep. I linked the Discord in chat as well, guys. Again, Tilo. Actually, I'll link it again before we go.
But yeah, I just wanted to say thank you guys too for thinking of me. I really appreciate you guys, especially Mort. You, even from the beginning, you really were a supporter of my channel. So
yeah, buddy.
Big shout out to you.
Wish I could do more, but that's the least we could do, huh?
No, I appreciate you guys. You too, Moon, for thinking of me too. That's big, and I really appreciate you guys.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Too right, and yeah, Mort, thank you very much for hosting the session tonight. Tilo, we are going to shoot you out the airlock. Thank you very much for joining us, and hopefully you guys will join us again in a couple of weeks' time, where we will hopefully have I've got something in mind, a very different guest. I will talk to you more about that afterwards.
For sure.
So yeah, Tilo, thank you very much, and thank you very much, gents. We will leave it at that. Hopefully you've all enjoyed. This has been much more how do you say it? Like a pilot episode. So in any of the comment sections as well, or in the Discord, you can jump into the Discord as well. Both mine, Mort, and Tilo's will be in the description. If you do want to feedback about the episode, what you liked, what you didn't like, again, open to anything.
Yes, please, guys, and don't hold back. Let us know what you like and don't like. You guys know that I'm open to that. You cannot hurt my feelings. Moon, on the other hand, maybe he's too nice a guy. But just send him to me. That way he doesn't get hurt.
Well, as I said, I enjoyed my mean comment of the week this week, so yeah, that was all good. But no, open to constructive criticism. If you're going to criticize it, just give us a suggestion. That's all we ask. Yes. So cool. I will leave you both to it. Thank you very much once again, Tilo, for joining us. Hopefully you've enjoyed, and that signs us off on the video. So thank you very much for joining. We will see you next time. Cheers, guys.